Welcome back, everybody, to the Couch Casuals UFC 300 post show. You know, it's your boy Kyle DiOrio and my lovely co-host
Robert Dylan Vasquez. What's up, guys?
You know, we have a lot to talk about today, Robert. I think we're going to break down at least a little bit every single fight on UFC 300.
Now, before we do that, they were writing this card off, saying it was like thrown together. Did you see the video that Dana White came out with? He kept his receipts, and the dude blasted.
Good.
Dude, he blasted everybody from like Schaub to the Morning Combat guy, and it felt really good because it was arguably the best card of all time.
Like, I don't understand how anybody looked at this and said this is a bad card.
Dude, I don't
Your
either.
expectations are way too high. You're expecting like Khabib to come out of retirement, Conor to be on the card. Like you're expecting like too much. Like this is an insane card.
From top to bottom, it was the most watched prelims in ESPN history. So
No surprise there.
what does that tell you? From the jump, people were like, "Oh, I can't miss this. Oh, I can't miss this." So on to our first fight of the night: Cody Garbrandt versus Deiveson Figueiredo. Deiveson, he threw down with one of the best.
Yeah.
I don't want to call him a brawler because he's not. A cerebral striker, technical, but that technicality can be thrown out the window in Cody Garbrandt if he just wants to just throw it down.
I don't know. Cody, he's just not he's not. I don't know if he's losing his game or what, but like, poor guy just can't catch a break.
He'll go on a skid, and then he'll remind us why we watch him and why he's some of our favorite fighters. You know what I'm saying? Or a favorite fighter of all of us. So he'll throw down, but this fight he got out scrambled. He didn't look. I don't know. He didn't look like his punches were affecting Deiveson that much.
He looked good, moving up a weight class. He choked him out, put him in that nice rear naked.
Yeah.
Almost looked. It wasn't quite as bad as the old. Who's that guy? Who's Megan's man?
Oh, Megan Levy.
Remember that the way he choked that dude out, man?
Yeah.
Oh my god! But it was a good way to start the night. You know, Davison moving up, getting a win. Putting him in. I don't know if this is updated rankings or not, but it's got him at number 8 in the bantamweight division. Not a bad showing. Do you remember who you picked?
I picked Cody Garbrandt.
That means I'm up 1-0. Oh, by the way, everybody, neither of us really know who won at the moment. We didn't like think about. There's so many fights we picked. We were like, we'll just count them up on the show. So we'll all know together who wins here.
Bragging rights are up in the air, people.
This is probably the most important bragging rights ever
So far.
in the history of the Couch Casuals.
It's definitely the most fights. The most fights we've ever had to go off of.
But let's move on.
Next fight.
Bobby Green versus Jim Miller. This one was nasty.
That one hurt my heart, man.
This one got nasty. Bobby Green it was that fucking jab, just like ting, ting,
Hands down.
ting. Like, it's such a risky strategy, but I feel like the ones that can do it, it's so effective because you can't see where that jab is coming. You can't see where any of these shots are really coming from.
Mm-hmm.
They're coming from, down here.
Shooting from the hip, dude.
Dude, he bloodied Jim Miller up. It was nasty. It was gross.
It hurt,
It was
man.
violent.
He got so
He
many
didn't-
stitches and just looked.
He didn't get stopped.
No, he didn't. But Bobby wasn't. He can't. How do you get? Unless you're Gilbert Burns, who gets stopped with a jab?
Oh, this is true.
I don't know, man. Like I said, it hurt my heart. I loved seeing Bobby Green on the rebound from his Jalen Turner debacle that was when he hit, all those unanswered punches. I didn't know exactly what Jim was going to do. I said Jim Miller by submission. I did. I'll put that out there, and you can go check my receipts from the last show. So this one, I went with the legend. He's going to go out on a win, and he's gonna ride off into the sunset. Kyle, that shit doesn't happen, dude.
Very rarely.
The more I'm seeing it, or the more I think about it, rather, you don't see that almost
Robbie
ever.
Lawler is the only person I've ever seen do it.
I mean, Habib.
Okay, yeah,
But he wasn't too early.
Yeah, he wasn't older. Like, he definitely could have fought longer physically.
100%.
Do you think did Jim Miller call it?
I mean, I think like that was their agreement between him and Dana, but I don't remember a post-fight speech where he's like laying his gloves down and stuff. Like,
'Cause I remember someone said on the broadcast, like, he said the closer he got to this fight, he was like, if I still got it, I wouldn't mind hitting 50 fights in the UFC,
that would be insane.
which is like 6 more fights. I think he's at 44.
That's
a lot of fucking fights, dude. But
most wins.
But yeah. So that's Bobby Green by decision in a bloody contest. That puts me up 2-0 at the moment.
Yep.
We're going into the third fight of the night: Jessica Andrade versus Marina Rodriguez.
So this fight in particular, I wasn't keeping up with it per se, but those first 2 fights, I'm like, oh, well, fuck, man, this is how my night's gonna go. Like, this is how my night's gonna go. And when it gets to the powerhouse that was Jessica Andrade, I'm like, she can't let me down. She can't let me down. And then she starts getting popped in like the 3rd round. She just lays on Marina for some of the fight, which I'm like, girl, do you have any jiu-jitsu, any wrestling? Not that I wanted Marina to win, but I just wanted a night of good fights. So I'm like, man, I'm not praying, but like, I'm like, did Andrade squeeze this one out? How did you feel watching this one? After the first 2, I feel like it kind of bing, bing, bing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like, this was one of the more forgettable fights of the night. Which I'm not even, like, that's not even a bad thing. It's just, look how many fights. You're trying to remember all this stuff. I don't really remember what I was thinking during this fight. I think I expected Jessica to win at the hand raise, so I wasn't too shocked. I think she did just enough, like you said. She just kind of squeaked one by here. It is what it is. Marina just didn't do enough, sadly.
So the results.
Jessica Andrade.
Just the results of that, I was like, okay, I got one on the board. Robert's got one on the board. I'm on the board, dude.
And let's go into the next one, the featured early prelim. I don't know if that's what it's called, but that's what I'm calling it. Jalen Turner versus Money Moicano.
I think I went with the tarantula, right?
We both did on this one. We both agreed and picked Jalen. And honestly, a little embarrassing.
What a pick, though. What a pick to see in the early rounds of the he's beating him and he's doing his thing.
Drops Moicano. Well, how did you feel about the walk away? A lot of people making a big deal about the walk away. What did you think when he walked away from Moicano being down?
The walk away. So there are 2 things about that. The walk away to me was fine. And then
I thought so too.
If you realize, oh, he's not out. Dude, first of all, you're not Mark Hunt.
Yeah.
You need to know, like, how many people are you dropping in sparring? How many people have you knocked out that you feel like, okay, that one was good? My problem with the whole thing, number 2, is he sees Moicano still up, and then he fucking like looks and he's like, stop the fight, ref. And it's like, finish the fight, dude. Like, you already fucked up by not capitalizing and not pouncing on him. But don't look at the ref and say, oh, he's out. What are you doing? He's out. Obviously not, dude.
See, I definitely didn't think. I thought the walkaway was fine because it was like he had just been on the ground with Moicano the whole round practically and was not doing anything. So like that was my thought, was like, okay, he doesn't want to go to the ground right away. You know, he doesn't want to get back trapped into the ground. It does come back to cost him though, one way or the other. So I fucking KO'd. KO'd in round 2 by Money Moicano. That was not the outcome I expected.
Not at all. And then the fumble of the night. The fumble of the night is in Moicano's post-fight interview where, not trying to be like this, is Mushmouth. Nobody understands you, dude. He's like, it's Saturday night. Everybody's watching. The whole world is watching. And you go, yeah, I'm going to have a podcast Monday. I'm clearing it up for you guys. I'm going to have a podcast on Monday, and my first guest is going to be Joe Rogan. You cannot deny me anymore. Blah, blah, blah. And I think he called out Patty Pimblett. I didn't have any subtitles. I didn't have any subtitles, so I don't fucking know. Pimblett. Oh, Bobby Green called him out too.
Oh, that Bobby's the one that called him a slimy scumbag motherfucker.
Said, I'll meet you in your backyard, yada, yada, yada.
Bobby by knockout.
Versus Patty?
Yeah. Fuck Patty.
All right, dude. But yeah.
That may or may not be on this show. Who knows?
Moicano, you fumbled, dude. You do what I ask you to and learn English for sure. I want all the foreign, not just the Brazilians, not just the little Brazilians playing in mud. I don't want them. I don't want them just to learn English. I want them to be profound so they can raise their superstardom to the next level. He learned English. Good on you.
Yeah, people love him now because he's kind of funny.
He's a shit talker on Twitter or X or whatever. I don't know, man. I wanted more out of his post. I wanted less, actually. I'll say that. I wanted less out of his post-fight interview.
Yeah. It's a good win for him, though. Like, he's on a little bit of a winning streak. Knocking out Jalen Turner's pretty impressive. Should put him in the top 10, I think.
I think it's time.
Or at least right at 10, because that's where Jalen was 10.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that we are out of the early prelims. I'm up 2-1. Jalen was a fucking scratch for both of us. Let's go into the first prelim of the night. Sodiq Yusuff versus Diego Lopez. And what I will say was probably the most impressive, like, underdog win of the night. Like, Diego came in and showed the hell out.
I don't know why he was such an underdog. Sodiq, like I said, I watched him fight in a grocery store one time. He wasn't fighting in the grocery store, but I'm walking with the cart, watching on my phone, watching him tear Edson Barbosa up. And I'm like, man, if you can do that to Edson, you're up there, dude. And so when I wanted to go against Diego, something told me, I was just like, nah. And I'm not an expert, but I was like, nah, he's not that much of an assassin because he couldn't put Edson away. Hit him with some nasty stuff, but couldn't put him away. And so I'm like, let me just go with Diego. Let me see what he's got. And that dude, I don't even want to know how hard he hits. Because Edson hit Sodiq with some crazy stuff. And Sodiq was there all night. He got hit with 2 uppercuts by Diego. Lights out, dude.
Diego, man, like, I think Diego's had such an adventure on our show specifically.
Yeah.
This man debuts on one of the pay-per-views. We have no clue who he is. We're like, who is this guy? We're making fun of him. He looks goofy. He's got the haircut. Then, shows out against Evloev, who is like a top-rated featherweight fighter, right? Like, he's top 10, right?
People are scared to fight him.
Yeah. Puts out a show, right? Then I don't think we talked about his next fight, but Sabatini goes out, KO Sabatini. This dude, after the Evloev fight, has not left the first round. He has 3 first-round finishes in a row.
That's insane, dude.
Diego Lopez he's a real deal. This dude's a problem.
For now. But I'm behind him.
He is the CCMMA. He's the first CCMA sponsored fighter.
I like that.
Diego Lopez. You know what I'm saying?
I like that a lot. I'm actually going to @ him after we post this.
Hell yeah. Make sure he knows he's our fighter. But we didn't I didn't pick him. I'm sorry. I'll never do that again. I messed up.
So what is it now?
It's 2-2.
All right, I'm feeling a
And
little
now
better.
you feeling pretty good, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's talk about Kayla Harrison versus Holly. Boom.
Yeah, what a great fight.
Kayla dominated this fight.
What a great
It
performance.
may
by
have been
Kayla
a
Harrison.
a sleep fest, but she dominated.
What? Hang on. Why did she dominate?
Who wrestle fucked her?
Because Holly didn't stick to the fucking game plan. Why are you gonna try to clinch Kayla Harrison, judo champion twice, a gold Olympic gold dude?
Yeah,
Man,
it's hard to say, dude.
Kayla
Holly,
Kayla was jacked. I'll give her flowers.
she was jacked,
Jack City, dude.
dude. She's impressive. That's your Holly's the 5th ranked bantamweight women. Let's look at the bantamweight rankings.
That's a ghost town, really.
It really is.
Because with her being number 5, that shoots Kayla into the top 10. Which, if you lose, if you lose, what is it like? What are the consequences of that? You lost to one of the best. And so you have Juliana, and I mean
Raquel Pennington is your champ.
Raquel Pennington, and then that's.
You know what I want to see? Let's get Kayla and Juliana in a fight
For the number 1 contender?
for the number 1 contendership.
I don't know how Juliana wins that. I really don't.
I don't either. I don't think it's possible. But I think it's a good fight. You know, there's name value there.
Sure.
And then
The promo will be
have-
cringe.
probably.
Let me ask you this. How many more cuts to 135 does Kayla Harrison get?
I don't know, man. I don't. Cause what? She's like naturally like 155 or some crazy shit. Like,
dude,
it's impressive.
It's impressive that she's not 155 a flub. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause
No, she's like 155 jacked.
so
Like just as swole looking as like. I don't know.
some of the men, you can say it. Some of the men in the 155 division.
Yeah, you could put her in. You could put her at the men's lightweight and maybe crack the top 15.
I clocked that, and I'm like, man, like, it wasn't a bummer. I wasn't bummed out, but I was just like, come on, Holly, what are you doing?
Yeah, it wasn't the best performance.
On to the next. That's another one for the Kyle.
Here we go. We're up to Calvin Kattar and Aljamain Sterling. I'm not gonna lie here. Going into the show last week, I was planning on picking Aljamain, but you swayed me. Your confidence in Kattar swayed me. You were like, there's no way, you know, Cater's got the power. He's used to this size. There's no way he's gonna. Aljamain made it look easy.
I think it was aside from Rampage Jackson back in the Pride days. I think this was the first power bomb I've ever witnessed live.
It was a nice slam, dude.
What in regards to the size and the power and being used to the weight class and yada yada, I didn't not believe in Aljo's ability, but it got to a point where I'm like, well, this is his debut. What can he really do? And it was an okay fight. It was an okay performance. If you were to watch the Holly Holm, Kayla Harrison, Aljamain Sterling, Calvin Kattar, if you were to watch those fights back to back, could have been the longest restroom break ever.
Yeah.
You could have went and got some beers and some hot dogs, and it could have been awesome, and you wouldn't have really missed much.
It was the most Aljamain Sterling fight imaginable. You know, like Aljamain Sterling's just not a very entertaining fighter. Unfortunately,
somebody said Aljo owes Dana $300,000.
Probably,
dude.
But that being said, like he got the win. You know,
What now? What now?
What's next? I
Hey,
don't think you fight for a title right away.
you don't fight for a title. Throw him up against Max.
I don't want to see that either.
Give him Max.
No.
Come on.
You gotta earn Max, dude.
Well, now you do.
And now you do. We'll get to it. Now you gotta earn Max.
Will you real quick look up the rankings and let me know if this is crazy? What about Arnold Allen? Because I think Arnold Allen is up there. He's not like top 5, I don't think. But
check.
I mean, what was Calvin? Calvin was like 6, 8.
He's 8 now. Maybe he was 6 then. The rankings are being really weird. Hold on.
Because Arnold Allen, he got a fight against Max, and I don't know why, but he was good. I enjoyed that.
Featherweight. They've put Aljo at 8. So maybe someone like Arnold Allen's at 6.
Yeah, give him Arnold Allen.
Evloev's at 5. Brian Ortega maybe at 3.
If you give him,
interesting.
Dude, Brian.
Interesting fight.
Brian looks so big at that weight class. He doesn't, but he does. No, give Aljo Volk.
Come on,
dude.
Why are you giving Aljo like these main event fighters?
So he can be put down on the prelims. Damn it.
Fair enough.
Shout out to Aljo. Thanks for fucking on my picks. Yeah, dude. On to the next. I'm not talking about this guy anymore.
Yuri versus Alexander Rakic. Boy, this was the bathroom break's over.
Yeah, I know.
This was a fun fight. Yuri was getting Yuri's legs have to be still hurting because he was almost put down with the leg shots. But he pulled off one of the most Yuri knockouts possible. Beautiful, dude.
I felt like I wasn't wrong in my pick. I felt like I wasn't wrong.
No, this was a very I feel like Yuri was getting pieced up.
He had a come from behind performance, and he's a warrior and he's a samurai. I'll say that.
He's a samurai, dude.
And I didn't like how Rakic was he reads a book or he calls himself a samurai now. I'm like, hey man, whether he is or not, in your eyes, he is in his eyes. And that's a scary dude. That's a scary dude.
Look at this man. He's a bad dude. I mean, he was arguably, I remember correctly, he was putting work in against Poatan before the knockout.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a scary motherfucker.
You can't underestimate his awkwardness and his durability, dude, because like you said, his legs shouldn't have held up the way they did. So I don't know. I'm ready to see him bounce back in there, maybe against the Jamal Hill, maybe.
I think that's a good fight to put together.
We'll see. But
we'll see.
That was all of the prelims, correct?
That is the prelims. We're heading into the main card. Kyle's up 4-2 at the moment.
Yeah.
And we'll just leave it at that for now.
So you got the first fight of the night on the main card. Card opens up. Bruce is all dapper. Megan Levy looks like her jacket came out of an oil slick or something. And then
I'm not staying for the Megan O'Leary hate.
Come on, man. She's all right. What did you think about the first fight of the night?
It shouldn't have been the first night of it should not have been the first fight of the main card. You swap that with Yuri. I don't care.
What do you mean?
Bo Cody Brundage is your first fight of UFC 300's main card.
Come on, man.
Get out of here. That's my only complaint with the card is why? They're both unranked. I get it. Bo's this up and coming superstar, but he's not a superstar yet. That was a boring fight.
What happened? Cody
Cody
Brundage was like, "Not me, dog. I'm not going. Who am I? The WXL champion? What is this? No. I'm about to show you guys he's gonna have to be boring against me. I'm not about to engage when he says to. I'm Cody freaking Brundage, dude.
I'm Cody freaking Brundage, bruh.
Dude, I'm about to show out against Bo Nickel. Chokes out second round. I'm like, all right,
I mean,
man.
what else is there to say here? I didn't like his if you're called to fight me, just sign on the dotted line and be thankful. Shut up, bro.
Well, in that way, he kind of wins because he's getting your hate. You can't be neutral about fighters. You either have to love them or hate them, and that's the ones that skyrocket to the superstardom.
Well, he started that sentence by saying, "I'm going to make you all love me. You're all going to love me by the end of this."
Poor Ian Gary-esque. But yeah, I'm okay. Bo won. That's one of the... Okay, we both got a point. Yay.
Yay.
On to the next.
Charles. My sweet Charles Oliveira versus Arman Sarukian.
Dude, this win for Arman doesn't take away the fact that he's a fucking bitch. Sorry.
Fair. Arman, I mean, he looked good in this fight, man. I don't even think it should have been a split decision. Charles lost.
Bloodied up Charles is not one of my favorite looks.
No, it's a sad look, dude. Charles, this is...
I don't want this Arman guy to be the champ, dude. Get him away. Feed him. Come on, Habib. Come back, dude. Feed him somebody. Because Charles' defensive jiu-jitsu is among the best. His offensive striking, his defensive jiu-jitsu allows him to be an offensive striker because if you take me down, have fun with that. But, dude, when I see the big-ass cuts on Charles and I see his blonde hair turn to red, I'm like, man, can we...
Sucked, dude. It sucked.
Can we get on with this? And he didn't get finished. At the end, he was actually on top. Not a sunken Darce, but like tongue out, like gotcha, bitch.
I kept praying for like just a Hail Mary sort of choke, or I just wanted to see him put this dude away, and it just wasn't in the cards. Arman, he looked great.
Did you see the ghillie?
Yeah.
The ghillie where Arman's like tugging his shorts off. I'm like, bro, like, get out of the ghillie for sure, but I don't know. I'm not saying that was his fault, but Charles.
It very much sucked to see Charles lose. Did Charles have another chance at the top, really?
No. That was Charles. I'll tell you this. We talk about superstars and we talk about, high-level athletes. Charles Oliveira is a shooting star. Charles Oliveira is exactly what the 155 needed when they got it. And he's gone now.
He was dominant for a few months.
That string of wins that he had, just you could tell he was different. And then the meteorite that is Islam Makhachev is.
And to think, his last fight before this was supposed to be, or before, I guess it would have been before Dariush. I don't remember. Mm-hmm. He had the fight with Islam, and the cut
heard around the world, dude.
Man, that cut ruined a lot of people's
trajectories, lives, livelihood.
It was rough.
Shout out to Volk. Yeah, I'm done, man. We're taking more time on the prelims than we are this main card just because there's heartbreak left and right, dude.
But let's talk about this next fight, because this next fight, boy, this might be one of the most legendary moments of any UFC fighter's career. For Max Holloway, let me talk, because I'm the one. Hey, Max. Ooh. Boy, that was the most hype moment of the night. Best fight of the night. Maybe the best fight of the year. Max, he did what I said he had to do. He had to go Matrix mode. Barely get hit by Justin. The fight. Pieces Justin up. And then the most the dopest moment in UFC history, Max. 5 seconds. Knocks Justin Gaethje out cold. Slapped him. Is that not the most insane? That is what people love the UFC right there. That's the most iconic thing I can think of in UFC history.
Yeah, it was cool. No, it was amazing, dude. It was amazing.
That was amazing.
And then Justin dropped him, 4th round, first time he's ever been dropped. And that's I think that's all Justin had after that broken nose. I'm not making excuses. Kamaru Usman took to Twitter and was like, "Oh well, it's gonna disrupt your breathing pattern, your footwork." Not saying that Kamaru was making excuses, but like,
right,
duh, dude,
but like that's the problem. Like Max broke your nose.
It's not like he didn't. You throw a kick with ill intent. You're aiming at the body, and Justin does that little head dip, breaks his nose. Max it's still 2 + 2 = 4, dude.
Yeah, Max did it. Max caused that damage that ruined the night. I mean, like, it was just such an insane moment to see him knock out Justin Gaethje with 1 second. I mean, Max is definitely winning the fight.
Yeah.
And he decides, last 5 seconds, let's go. And he could have easily been KO'd in that moment.
Yeah.
And sleeps Justin Gaethje. That's insane, man.
I will eat my words, and I tell you that I had Gaethje, and Max's chin.
A lot of people did.
Max's chin isn't going to hold up against a fighter like Gaethje. The nose break really did something, but at the end of the day, Gaethje fought on and just got clipped with because you have that Yair Korean Zombie knockout, and I believe that was the main event, and that was 459, and it was just boom, back elbow, Korean Zombie goes out, and it's all over. But that was just a knockout. This is what was on the line. Who were the fighters? It was for the belt. It was probably I want to say it was the most viral knockout of all time.
I mean, it has to be. Like, dude, that's the most amazing moment. I was at a loss for words. Everybody we stood up like, oh my fuck, like we all were screaming. We were all like, holy crap, that was the fight. Like that is, I think for all BMF titles, the last 5 seconds has to be just a fucking like telephone box fight in the middle of the cage.
Well, think about the BMF as a whole. How did it start? It was Nate Diaz versus Jorge Masvidal. How did that fight end? In a cut. Cut, dude.
Not a good way to win that title.
And then you have the next fight, Justin versus Dustin for the BMF. Ends in a head kick knockout with Justin. There's something to be said, man. What goes around comes around. And you just got dominated by Max Holloway on the feet. And then you went out on your shield. I sent this to you. What if this is Justin's last fight? I know it's not, but people are calling for no, just let him go out like that, like a legend, like a BMF legend, just go out like that. I'm like, if you think that he's gonna go out like that, there's some.
Get out of here! That's a dumb take. What are y'all talking about? Justin isn't anywhere close to quitting. Why would this loss? I'm quitting. Shut the fuck up, dude.
Max looked good at 155 though, huh?
He really did. Dude, and his post-fight was just as good as the knockout. Everyone's talking about the way he called out Ilya. And Ilya looked scared, boy. Ilya did not look. He looked like he was shitting himself in the crowd.
Shook, dude.
He was not prepared for that knockout. He was not prepared for Max to go in there and beat Justin. But I actually really liked, my favorite call out was his to Islam. He said, "You're famous for fighting 145ers." That was slick. That was pretty good. I mean, Max is his career trajectory is kind of insane because he's already been at the top for so long.
Mm-hmm.
you would expect at some point for him to falter. I mean, obviously he faltered against Alex, but like that's Alex Volkanovski, right?
And his legendary camp, and
Yeah.
like I said, he's like, oh, I beat him 3 times. It's like, okay, well, the first one's questionable, the second one is for sure, and then that third one is you left no doubts. So
Yeah.
Congratulations to Alex. That Ilya, that Ilya thing shouldn't have happened that close to him getting knocked out by Islam.
Yeah, you look at the way you set up your career and like taking fights. Look at 2023. Alex is head over heels ahead of Max. 2024, Max is on top again. He's not champ, right? But
yeah. Well, he is.
He's BMF champ. But these type of moments, like that was legendary. And think about it, like Justin's last fight, he beats Dustin, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now he's fighting Max, and most people expected him to beat Max and probably go on to fight Islam.
I mean,
but now who's fighting Islam?
It's signed, sealed, delivered. Dustin
Poirier, and that is it's insane how the fight game works and how your trajectories are up and down and then up and down. Like it's crazy.
Okay. So if you're Max Holloway, and they go, hey, Volk needs time. You can go up against Ilya, but you got to put both titles up, the 145 and the BMF. Or you can wait for the winner of Islam Dustin, but you got to put both titles up, the 155 and the BMF. Which fight are you going with?
I think Max takes Ilya.
He should. He should beat the fuck out of that little rat.
I want to see him knock out Ilya in Spain. That'd be magical. But like 145 just feels like, I feel like Max 145 is home to Max. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's his territory.
So that's his turf. Let's go in there. Let's beat Ilya. That would be incredible. It's so insane that Max has been champ, and is still potentially championship material this late or this long into his career.
This long because he's only 32, 33,
he's
32.
Only 32 or 33. Yeah, he's young. That's insane. The longevity of this man's career at the top.
Dude. So a lot of people like to say like, oh, okay, well, Alex has his number. Alex is the only one with Max's number.
The only guy that's ever had his number like that.
Unless you want to say Dustin, because Dustin's up 2-0.
Yeah, you could say that, sure.
But as far as has his number, okay, well, they fought a long time ago, and then they fought, when on Max's 6-week camp to a debut at 155.
Yeah, like, that's not the same thing.
No.
And he was very competitive in that fight against Dustin.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, you were there.
I was there. I was there live. Someone needs to study Max Holloway.
Dude, how much more can we say about this fight?
I mean, let's talk about the drop, because even in his only drop, he popped right back up.
It was like he fell onto a trampoline.
Like, it wasn't like he was hurt. He just, I don't know.
Equilibrium, because they were in close, and I think like Justin throws an overhand, not an overhand, but it just came up over, and then just Max just bounce, and then he's like,
he's ready to go. I don't even know if you count that as the drop. I know it may have counted statistically, but come on.
If you were to look at it on the stat sheet, you'd be like, damn, he got dropped against Justin Gaethje. But if you were to watch the fight, you're like, oh, okay.
Dude, Max, that was one of the most legendary performances of all time.
He showed up, and as
he showed up, he showed out. He's
him, like he said.
He's him. Max is him. Okay, I guess you're right. That's probably all. That was fight of the night and performance of the night. Max walked away with $600,000.
Give me some of that, dude.
I know. Hey, Max earned every penny of that. But yeah, let's go on to the co-main event.
Battle of the
Uh,
Great Wall.
the women's strawweight title. Zhang Weili versus Yan Xiaonan. Um, it's not fair that this fight had to go on after that. Nothing could match that fight, and it didn't. Like, it wasn't a bad fight, but like I
No.
know people were complaining because like this is a much more technical, much more um like this was like a chess match. We're trying to win I'm trying to defend my championship or win my first title, and it was a pretty solid fight, really.
But how do you compare when the energy of 15,000 people, 20,000 people is sucked out of the room?
I mean,
You can't.
you are exhausted. The fans are exhausted after that fight. Like, there's a certain degree of just like constantly being on edge for like 25 plus minutes.
He's doing it. He's doing it.
Like, oh my god, and screaming, and then like you're exhausted no matter what is on at. I'm gonna reference UFC 236
Sure.
when I was there, right?
Yeah.
So it was the co-main was Gaslam Adesanya, which is a legendary fight in its own right,
Yeah.
right? Mm-hmm. And Max Holloway and Joseph Poirier 2 was also a fairly insane, incredible fight. Mm-hmm. But can I tell you, like, I don't think the crowd, we couldn't be as hyped for the second fight because we were exhausted, drained from the Gastelum Adesanya fight.
I couldn't even imagine how you felt at the end of the night. Like, you go back to the hotel or whatever, and it's just
there's no sleep, right? You're just wired and exhausted at the same time.
There's not much to give. There's not much to give after, like Joe Rogan said it, you said it. One of the greatest performances and greatest knockouts of all time. So what the fuck?
You can't follow that up.
So we both went with Weili, right?
Yes, we did, and we both get points here. So that's kudos to us. But I think Jan, she showed that she deserves to be up there. Who do you
give her now?
I don't know. That's a good question. Everyone's talking about. You think they put smelling salts in her nose?
Oh, 100%.
You think so?
Yeah, dude. What did they put in her nose?
I don't think they put anything in their nose.
Oh, you didn't see it?
No, I did see it, but like he just in what world could like who puts a fucking smelling salt like this far up someone's nose?
It didn't look like a cut.
I think you'd pass out. Like the smell of that in your nostril. Ugh.
It didn't look like a cotton swab. I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was.
So what I thought in the moment, I really thought he had was putting pressure on her septum. Mm-hmm. I didn't know what that did. Maybe it was smelling salt. I don't know. But I mean, she was out.
If you watch the Joe Rogan podcast, 3 times out of 15 on every episode that he has smelling salts, you see him like do a little bottle. They come in like little pouches that you crack,
like a little pack, right?
And then you just.
They smell like shit.
It's hot piss. So I didn't see her like, ugh. But
yeah, she just kind of sat there like it's. I don't think it's feasible. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. But you know what? Let's. I'm gonna fight for her corner, right?
Nice.
And I'm not saying this was at fault of Zhang Weili. It's just in the moment. That choke lasted a good second or so after the bell.
Yeah.
That choke lasted longer than the round, and right, like, it's you're in the moment. You may not know to let go right away, right? I'm not saying anything negative against Zhang Weili. I don't think she's a dirty fighter at all.
Sure.
But the choke lasted a little bit longer, right? Mm-hmm. So what if The difference between her going out is the time after the bell, right? Like that's a very hairy situation to be in, no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she stood up barely, but she stood up.
Dude, a whole bunch of stuff happens when you're unconscious.
Yeah,
Limbs can flail. Kevin Lee tapped, and he doesn't against Oliveira when Oliveira was on the come up. Tapped.
yeah.
Didn't even remember tapping. Tried to go like on another single leg, and it's just like, bro, your body
Just does what it does.
just okay. Let me stand up, walk to my corner. Let me go sit down. Okay.
Pretty insane.
People are wiping my face. I wake up. I'm like, did I lose? But you know, we don't know. She doesn't know. No one in that moment truly knows. So shout out to Zhang Wei Li. Adversity and coming right after that Max Justin fight, and then still not even being the last fight of the night, dude.
No. The one of the shortest fights. Another somewhat legendary moment in the career of Alex Pereira. I mean, they come out and they did their intro. Jamal's intro super intense. You know, he's staring him down. He's got that look. We picked Jamal on the show,
Yeah.
so no shout outs for us.
No.
Oh, I don't know why we picked Jamal Hill based on what we saw, because
Because he beat the shit out of Glover.
Alex was next. It was light work.
And then Alex proved it.
Did Alex get hit?
In the nuts.
Yeah. You could hear the cup shot because it sounded like that's not human
It's
anatomy.
not flesh.
And Herb goes, "Oh, we're gonna."
No, Herb full out goes like this.
Yeah.
And this is what I wanted to talk to you about. Chael brought this up.
Yeah.
Shout out to Uncle Chael. Always welcome on CCMMA. So he has his moment where he's like, nah, timeout. Alex goes, nah. Which everybody's acting like that's the first time. Demetrius Johnson did the same shit.
No, but it's badass regardless.
It's badass regardless. And so they hand fight a couple more times. Chael says Jamal stopped. Like, no, Herb said timeout. Jamal stopped, let down his guard. Alex stepped on his foot, knocked him out. I don't think Jamal stopped because, like I said, they resumed their hand fighting. Alex did play that tricky shit where he stepped on his foot, hit him with the left hook, and Jamal
That's slick. That's slick though. But I mean, I think there's enough time after that.
Yeah.
Jamal's ready to go. He
less than 10 seconds, less than 5, I think.
It was crazy. Like, hit him with the.
Oh man! And then it's just from that moment, you kind of just your imagination runs wild. Like he just did that to Jamal Hill.
Yeah.
Like who
at light heavyweight can compete with this guy? He's knocked out Yuri.
Are you asking me?
Sure.
Izzy.
You know,
Alex said that fighting Izzy was like fighting a man in a room full of mirrors. Alex said that. So Izzy up at 205. I know that Izzy doesn't want it and it doesn't do anything for his legacy, but like that title is there if you can solve the Alex problem that no one else can. No one else. Who else?
Izzy's probably the best equipped man to try to solve the Alex problem. Dude, it is so impressive what Alex has done. He is older. He comes into the UFC at like 35 or 34, and he goes on an absolute tear of destruction through the middleweight. He knocks out Sean Strickland in round 1, who once goes on to become the UFC middleweight champion.
And then he gets defeated at 185 and goes, okay, fine, I'll go up to 205 on a whim. Beats Jan.
Yeah. Beats fucking Jan. Knocks out Yuri. Knocks out Jamal Hill.
The Yuri one was like a TKO, in my opinion.
It was, but he wasn't out cold,
but he wasn't answering the bell.
Right, he wasn't there. Dude, this dude's insane. He wants to fight in Brazil, which is the very next pay-per-view, which could use a little bit of star power.
Could.
When your main event is the champ versus the 10th ranked, why is that the top? Why is that the fight? Is there no one else for Pantoja to fight?
Because that dude can do it.
What's his name? Isag?
Mm-hmm.
You think he's got it?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll be honest with you. I don't know much about Isag.
I've never seen a fight. I've never seen one Isag fight.
I definitely haven't.
So I know he's gonna beat Pantoja.
We'll be talking about it here soon enough.
Cause fuck Pantoja.
Ew.
Yep.
What's wrong with Pantoja?
No, I said it.
You just don't like Brazilians, okay?
No, man. I like a lot of. I like Brazil. I like Brazil.
Brazil.
Jose Aldo's fighting on that card. I kind of like Jose. Or Jose, sorry.
That's pretty amazing to have him back. Hold on. We're getting ahead of ourselves. This is the Poetan show right now.
So, who won bragging rights?
Me.
Of course you fucking did.
7-4.
God. That whole night I just gave up. That whole night I was just like, all right.
A little over 50%. You got four right.
So I'm gonna flip it on you. That makes me the ultimate casual. You
are the ultimate casual.
I win, motherfucker.
I've been promoted. This is my last show. I'm no longer allowed to be on the Couch Casuals.
You will see Kyle fresh Monday morning on First Take with Stephen A. Smith.
Me and my boy Stephen A. will be talking about the fights. What's coming up. This is my last show, guys.
Damn it,
They saw my numbers. They said 7 out of 13. Right. Oh, my God.
And then they heard your takes. And if I did anything to your career, Kyle, I just want to say that I'm glad I could bring you down to slingshot you forward.
Don't worry. I'll call you up. You'll be my like water boy at ESPN or something.
No.
Pamper my nose.
Fetching your coffee and stuff.
Yeah, intern Robert.
Can I get an autograph from Molly Kieran?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'll get you an autograph.
If you can do that for me, after all we've been through, if you could do that for me,
I got you. Molly's my girl. You know, she'll help me. She'll hook me up.
Shout out to the fucking stone cold faced Alex Potan. Shout out.
What a baller,
dude. His shorts were fire. His performance was fire. I'm sure he beat Francis Ngannou's record for the hardest punch.
He might have.
On that little square block thing that the UFC has, I think he went and beat Francis's punch. And that's it. 220 something. Maybe he hydrated at 230. I don't know. I don't know how his body does it, bro. But dude, I wouldn't fight that guy for $500,000. I wouldn't fight that guy for $1 million.
That's the scariest fighter in the UFC.
I'm not doing it, dude.
That's that dude. Alex is that dude.
But we will be back. Yeah, we'll be back for 301, right?
I mean, I guess.
We're gonna have to find a way to shape this because this was the UFC's end game.
Yeah, like they threw everything at this one. So like of course 301's not gonna have a lot of people available to fight.
But can we real quick, can we skip that one? Not on the show or whatever, but just in topic? Because 302 and 303, dude.
They're good. We're back to normal with 302, 303.
And that's what I'm excited for. We think this is the end game. This isn't Marvel, dude. We have so much more left in the tank, dude.
We keep rolling.
And we need to see the aftermath We need to see who Justin Gaethje fights next. We need to see Max's trajectory and where he goes. Does he's got a fork in the road of possibilities, 145 or 155, because he beat Justin, who's arguably the number one guy. I know you want to say Charlie and you got Dustin, but like you just cracked the top 5.
Yeah. It's insane. It's incredible.
Shout out to Max Holloway, dude.
Absolutely, dude. Max won the night, won the year with that card.
I think it's going to go down as, not to interrupt you, but I want to say it'd be fight of the year. That was a one-sided beatdown.
It really was. You're right. Like there wasn't a lot of back and forth. It was just Max.
Fight of the night, knockout of the night, performance of the night, whatever you want to say. Fight of the year. It doesn't do it for me.
Maybe not fight of the year, but definitely knockout of the year.
Yeah.
Like there's no way to top that. You'd have to do some crazy shit to top that knockout.
I think so. With 1 second left in the 5th round after beating him down and really throwing away the fight. You're literally, I know he didn't, and I know he won.
You could have lost in those seconds.
Threw away, just like, okay, that was a great performance. Clap, clap, clap. All right, let's go. You're literally like, you're doing Justin a favor and giving him a puncher's chance at the BMF, showing people why you're the BMF. Max Holloway is the ultimate BMF.
He is. That was the way to win it. That's the best way you could ever win that title.
Shout out to Dana White. Shout out to Sean Shelby. Shout out to all the staff of the UFC. Shout out to UFC 300. That was, man.
That was incredible. It was a great night of fights.
We'll see. We'll see what content we provide for 301. I'm not sure.
We might be on our we might just go to sleep.
Yeah, we actually, no, fuck that. Kyle and I will be in Brazil for 301 Rio de Janeiro.
We get robbed immediately.
We're gonna get robbed and mugged because
Hell yeah.
I think
be there.
I think I'm more hated than Chael Sonnen down in Brazil.
If they've seen this show, you are.
I didn't know they had computers. Anyways,
we're broadcasted to satellite radio there.
Straight up, dude. This is all they get. They don't even have cable or anything.
Nah. Well, we're everything to the Brazilians.
It's such a yin and yang. But we are the Couch Casuals. Always will, forever be Couch Casuals. We'll update you on new content, everything like that, posts on social media, yada, yada, yada. Any closing remarks, Kyle?
That was it. Hey, that was UFC 300, baby.
God. What an adrenaline dump.
What an amazing night.
Anyways, we are the Couch Casuals, and we will see you next time. Later.
Bye.